Back to that surge of COVID-19 cases nationwide. New data shows that indoor activities were a big part of how the virus spread. And that could be huge news as we head into the holidays. Marcelino Benito connects the dots.
With falling temperatures and indoor family gatherings on the horizon, experts now say they have data that shows limiting indoor capacity for restaurants, bars, and other spots could be a key to reducing COVID infections and getting us through the winter. Let's connect the dots. The research shared in the journal Nature used mobility data from cell phones captured in 10 U.S. cities this spring. That includes Houston and Dallas. Researchers mapped 98 million people's movement in and out of indoor spaces like stores, churches, cafes, and more. They crunched data, including time spent in those places and the venue size, then tracked individual movements and spread, combined with any lockdown measures in place in those cities. It showed roughly 8 in 10 new infections in the early months of the pandemic were tied to outbreaks in America's urban areas. And the experts found restaurants were the riskiest places, 4 times worse than gyms or coffee shops, according to the New York Times. It's this data that could provide a roadmap for a second round of lockdown measures to slow the virus's spread until a vaccine is available. Connecting the dots, I'm Marcelino Benito for H-Town Rush.
Marcelino, thank you. And a reminder, we are just 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, and the CDC says the best way to avoid getting COVID is just to stay home and celebrate virtually.